Hi, welcome back to AutoReview. My name is Patrick and today I have the pleasure to present you the brand new 2017 Ford Fiesta. First of all, thank you very much to Elite Auto Center in Wilderswil. They are located right over there. So we are here in Interlaken Bödeli area in Switzerland. And unfortunately the first part of the video looks a little bit different from the weather because some of my files got corrupted. So apologies for that. But back to the car. We have here the 8th generation of the Ford Fiesta, and again it grew as all the generations of cars grow over time. We have 4 trim levels: Trend, ST-Line, Titanium and Vignale or whatever you want to call it. So we have here the base trim level, the Trend, with the 1-liter EcoBoost engine turbocharged, producing 100 horsepower between 4.5 and 6.5 RPM. Maximum torque of 170 Newton meters between 1,600 and 4,000 RPM, 0 to 100 in 10.5 seconds, and a top speed of 183 kilometers an hour. The car, as it is here with all the equipment on board, costs 19,590 Swiss francs. However, at the moment there is an offer ongoing from Ford and Elite Auto Center in Wilderswil. So if you would like to buy the Fiesta, the new Fiesta, and you buy at least a 1.0 liter EcoBoost engine, so it doesn't work with the 1.1 liter naturally aspirated version or a diesel, you get 4,000 francs off. If your car is older than 10 years old, it's registered at least 6 months on your name, and well, yeah, obviously if you're living in Switzerland. So back to the car. You've seen the outside in the intro. I'll show you the first row, the second row, the boot space, and then we hit the road. I hope you will enjoy it. Subscribe, like and share, and let's go. Okay, so the Fiesta from inside. What do we have as usual from left to right? So, lock and unlock button for the doors, electric windows in the front. Believe it or not, yes, they still produce cars that have 5 doors, however only 2 electric windows. Then we have electric heated and electric adjustable mirrors for left and right, obviously. The lights, switches and everything on the left side, we have auto lights, so the lights turn on and off automatically. The steering wheel can be adjusted in reach and rake, so everyone should find his or her favorite position. And we can adjust the seat in height as well, as you can see. Now the seat, let me just pump it down, so we are all the way down now. And you can see I have more than enough headroom left, so I'm 184 tall. I reckon up to 195 will be no issue whatsoever. Instrument cluster very clear, left RPM, right speed. In the middle we have the trip computer with some additional information, temperature and fuel gauge. So to switch in between you just have to use this rocker here to go up and down. You have obviously trip A, trip B, and you can delete individual or all together. Now, what I like is as well that you have the average speed, you have the distance, you have the range and the actual fuel consumption all in one screen. You don't have to switch in between. Then on the bottom, on the right side, you have the one for the phone to take the call or to cancel it, as well as the voice control. And on the left side, you have the speed limiter with the volume buttons for the radio and the mute button. Now, in the Trend version, as well as in the ST-Line, you have to order the cruise control in addition. It's an additional cost. You get, however, a speed limiter. In my opinion, other way around would be more important. However, this is what it is. Now, what is nice as well, it's very clear, it's super easy to read. I like the white with the blue markers, very clear, super easy to read. Then we have the infotainment screen in the middle with the AB radio, in this case telephone, so you can connect your phone over Bluetooth. Once it's set, you leave the car, you come back, it automatically connects the car if you have Bluetooth open. You have mobile apps, so it supports Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, works fine, and you use the navigation of the phone to power the screen here. So you don't have to buy an additional navigation system, you just plug in your phone into the cable and automatically it will be mirrored and you can use the navigation from the phone. Plus you have some different settings which you see here as well. Touchscreen is responsive and works fast, as you can see here, so there is no really big lag, which is great. I like the physical controls for the tune and the volume, which is good. Then air ventilation, 2 in the middle, left and right 1 plus some on top. Then in the middle we have the climate controls. Here we have the fan speed, which is really nice, big rockers, and on the right side we have the temperature with a little gimmick. The temperature control display is inside the rocker, which is nice. We have heated seats in 3 settings, and what I like as well in this case, we have the auto function for the air conditioning in 3 settings as well, so low, medium and high in auto, which is good. Then some compartment to put your phone, for example, USB port, 12-volt power socket. This one comes with a 6-speed manual gearbox, manual handbrake, little compartment here, eco button to save fuel. I used it throughout this video, you'll see, the entire time, and I was able to achieve some really great fuel consumption figures. Traction control on and off, start, stop, on and off. Little slot for example, card to open the gate when you get to the parking. Then 3 cup holders, or 2.5, as you can see. This kind of energy drink fit exactly in the middle. Armrest, which unfortunately can extend to the front, so it's pretty much limited. You can see I can barely touch the gear knob when my arm is on it. However, once you have selected the gear on the highway, it's really nice to have it. Once you open it, you have a little tray we can remove, 1 more USB port, and quite a deep pocket basically over there. Then glove box is really big for this size of car, and what I like as well is the instruction manual is actually on top. There's a separate shelf for it, so it doesn't take away space from the glove box. Then light, mirror, which doesn't dim itself, and we have no lights in the mirrors in the sunshades. That's pretty much it. Let's hop in the back and see how much space we have there. Back seat. What do we have? Handle to close the door, obviously, and to open it again. Then the mentioned manual windows. I really don't understand why the manufacturer is still doing this, but okay. Entry level, you can obviously get the electric windows in the back in the higher trim levels, or if you pay extra. One negative point, which is the window. So from the design of the car, you can see the window doesn't shut with the body. So basically we have quite a huge window that is still open, not very comfortable to put the arm here. Just something to know. Then we have pockets in the backside of the seats, which is good. Space, I am 184 tall. You can see I have around 2 fingers still left. Front seat is adjusted to me, and I can sit actually straight, which is not bad at all. Headrests go sufficiently high as well, which is nice. And we have obviously 3 headrests, 3 3-point seat belts, ISOFIX on the outer seats, a little light here, that's it, and a little compartment where you can put some smaller stuff. Let me just see if my iPhone will fit. It's the iPhone 6. Fits so-so, sorry, iPhone 6 Plus, fits okay. Little transmission tunnel, but space-wise, it's not bad for city car. Okay, so the Fiesta from the back, what do we see? A little antenna on top, little roof spoiler or extension of the roof with a 3rd brake light. Then what I really like with Ford, I think they're the ones who start with it. So you don't have a cap that you can lose or forget at the gas station. You just put the nozzle in, and if you take it out, it's locked automatically. Great. Then a little thing I saw as well, we have this little Ford in the real brake lights, and I do like the design of them, which are a little bit kind of 3D. White in the middle, red outside, no orange. Great. Then Fiesta logo with a red dot on top on the left side. Nothing else really on the side. We have the reverse lights and the fog lights on the left and right. Parking sensors. You can't see the exhaust, however it's on the right side. Little wiper, and this one has a reverse camera. When we open it up, you see it right here. Once you open it, it opens actually high enough. Obviously here to close, we have a cover that opens with the boot as well. Boot space is 292 liters. If you fold the seats up to 1,000 and a little bit more. However, problem is if you fold the seats, you don't have a flat surface. You basically have quite a big step, and then it actually inclines as well. So it's not a flat one once you put them down. To put them down, you actually can reach through here, or you basically go through the back doors. Then little compartment left and right, hooks left and right, light on the right side, and below the boot space you have a compressor kit and some smaller parts where you can put some items. That's pretty much it. Let's close it and we'll continue on another day because I picked up the car today, so I wanted to show it to you because the weather was still nice. The next 2 days is supposed to rain, so I'll give you the feature of driving. You'll see it in 2 days. However, for you it's going to continue in a few seconds. So enjoy, have fun. See you in 2 days. We have driven the car now, or I have driven the car now. I have driven the car now for the past 2.5 days, and I have put 260 kilometers, actually more, 280 kilometers on the car. And we start with the first thing, which is the fuel consumption. We're gonna go into the tunnel, but nevertheless, I'm gonna show it to you, and then you can see how it looks here in the dashboard. So I managed lowest with driving very gently and very calm, 4.2 liters on 100 kilometers as per the trip computer on 261 kilometers, which is very good actually. Obviously Ford claims 4.3, now jump to 4.3. Ford claims 4.3 in the mix and 3.6 on the highway and 5.4 in the city. And if you drive like me, very careful, let me just put on the light, very careful, very calm, you don't go beyond 110 kilometers an hour on the highway, so you stay anywhere between 80 and 100, you can achieve those figures. In the city obviously it's going to be more. I'm not quite sure if 5.4 will be reachable, because that usually is a little bit more difficult. However, all the rest is fine. Now, I was driving in Eco the entire time. I tested today when I was driving actually on the way here, if there's any difference in the acceleration between 100 and 120 in 6th gear, full throttle. And I obviously stopped it with a stopwatch, so it's not scientific, but it felt, according to the time, it was like 0.7 seconds faster if you put the Eco out. So I'm not quite sure if this is really tangible, if this is if it's real or not. However, this is what I tested. So the Eco on-off seems to make a difference, but not so much. So it was like 8.2 seconds versus 8.9 seconds, I believe. Now, for a highway, obviously you're going to be able to achieve the figures. 3.6, I think it's difficult, because now I'm driving 100 at around 2000 RPM. And it says, the trip computer says 3.7, 3.9. So, maybe at 80, but not above that. So, how does the car drive? I think it's very good. It's comfortable. Still the seats, I wish they would be a bit firmer. And now we're hitting traffic jam. So I wish they would be a little bit firmer. They're a little bit too soft, on the soft side. But this is my personal feeling, so I'm not quite sure how you feel and if you prefer softer versus firmer seats. I think it would be nicer if it would be firmer. But again, so I don't think anyone who drives a Fiesta or is looking for a Fiesta is going to use this as a kind of daily commute car to drive long distances. I now personally drive 60 kilometers one way to work, and it's okay. It's not like I was enjoying it so much because I was trying to really see how low I can go with the fuel consumption. I think I could beat 4.2 even, maybe 4.1. I don't think I would be able to go below 4, to be honest, because I would constantly have to drive 80 kilometers an hour maximum. Everything above that will ruin your fuel consumption basically. But it's still impressive. Now let's say 4.3 is still impressive as a car, because obviously space-wise it's not bad, you've seen it. Good is okay, though not too practical, because you have the gap, basically the step, if you fold down the seats, and you can't basically lift the boot floor in the Trend version, which we have here. Now what we have, the GPS works with maps, not with Google Maps. It's a difference, because I have tested cars where it actually Google Maps, and I prefer Google Maps over the maps from the iPhone. Now you can see it on this screen. The navigation itself is a little bit kind of stupid in my way, because you have always this bar here which says where you're going for, and then basically the drive itself, it's moved to the right side, so it's not centered. Somehow I dislike this, and I cannot turn this off. If I turn this off with the navigation information, then it will move in the middle, but obviously you're not going to be guided anymore. If I press on it, it says guidance on, and then it shows you the screen and everything. You can't get this one in the middle, even though you have the screen here, but it's not working. You have a shift indicator, obviously in Eco, which tells you to shift up. And one thing that I discovered as well, if you can hear it, the car doesn't like RPMs below 1,600. Now we have a loud scooter next to us, but just listen to the sound it makes. Now I'm 1,500 in 5th gear at 60. It doesn't like it, but the shift indicator tells you to shift up, and then you're actually getting into this 1,500, and only around like 1.8, 2,000 it stops being kind of this grumpy engine noise, like. Other than that, what do I think? What do I like? So I really would prefer if the steering wheel would be leather wrapped. It's just a personal feeling. I have not driven a car with this kind of plastic steering wheel in a long time, and I kind of find it funny that they still make this. But again, we're going more into vegan and all this, so I guess maybe it's a step towards that, because obviously no leather here. Not quite sure if this is actually real leather or if this is like leatherette. What I didn't like as well is that there are no electric windows in the back with the 4-door. Again, something I can't understand why they're still building something like this, making cars like that, but okay. On that, we have a heated front shield here, so front glass, which again, you have to get used to. This is something I always say when I test Fords, because Ford has this, and you have to get used to it because you do notice it, and it's kind of weird in the beginning, to be honest. So please, before you order it, if you have not driven one, please test drive a Ford with the heated windshield and see if you're not getting distracted by this. What I do like is that you don't have to order actually navigation on the car, but that you just plug it in and it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and then you can use the map from the phone. Even though it's not Google Maps, it's maps, but still better than not having GPS at all. One thing that was a little bit annoying is when you plug in your phone, you can't get into the menu of the car itself anymore. You see, when I go to phone, it directly goes to the phone here. And then it's always Apple CarPlay. Once you unplug it, then it works. Yeah. We have air conditioning, automatic air conditioning. What I do like is the auto button has 3 settings. So you have auto high, auto medium, auto low, which is kind of cool because sometimes you feel like auto is actually too much. And this way it keeps it auto, so it regulates the temperature, but the fan speed is adjusted to your liking, which is good. It has heated seats, which is nice, in 3 steps or 3 settings. Then we have a 12 volt and the USB port, which I mentioned. Cup holders, this is all fine, so good. A little bit annoying is that if you want to switch in between trip A and trip B, you have to go press that button, go down, and go back into it. And now you see, we just hit traffic and we right away ruined fuel consumption from 4.2 to 4.5. This is how quick it goes. The last 1.5 days, so basically yesterday was fine, today in the morning there was no traffic, was good. That's how I managed these figures, but just to hit traffic, you right away ruin your fuel consumption. Now the dashboard is very easy to see, very clear. I really like it. No stupid design thing that basically distracts from what you're supposed to see. What else can I say? Reverse camera works fine. Parking sensors work fine. Yeah, I mean, what else can I tell you? The price. Now this one here, as you can see here, would be 19,590 Swiss francs, as you can see it here. So with the heated windshield, with the auto air conditioning, with the reverse camera, heated seats, and so on.
Take exit 37 towards 6 at Interlaken.
Now, this is because my phone is in English, that's why we have it in English. Other than that, I think the engine is great. It actually is not bad, because if you think about it, top speed is 183, 0 to 100 is 10.5, if you really push it, but then forget the fuel consumption, obviously. You will not achieve these figures, which I mentioned to you. So you have to be really, really calm, slow, taking it easy to achieve those figures. Build quality is okay, it's not bad. It's not soft touch, it's kind of like a little damming material in between to make it appear like this. A bit soft. Here it's hard plastic, here as well. The doors as well. And obviously here you have some material where you have your arm. Armrest, one thing I didn't like is that you cannot slide it forward. So it's kind of fixed where it is. We have a compartment there, so there's another USB as well in there. Yeah. And that is all fine. Now, engine choices. So we have engine choice between 70 horsepower, which is a naturally aspirated 1.1 liter, up to, at the moment, 140 horsepower. There will be a Ford Fiesta ST. There is an ST line, which is just the looks of the car. However, there will be an ST coming, I guess, in 2018, which is supposed to have more than 200 horsepower from a 3-cylinder petrol engine with a cylinder deactivation. So in eco mode, it will basically turn off one cylinder and you will drive with 2 cylinders, which is something very interesting. But that we will hopefully be able to review next year once it comes out. Other than that, I think it's a good car. I see it, obviously it grew from the last version. This is the 8th installment basically of the Fiesta. And they're building it since decades basically now. And I think it looks good, though there are different trim levels where sometimes the front looks a little bit weird, in my opinion. Now, obviously the ST line would be the one that I would suggest because it's going to look the sportiest and the nicest to the eye, basically. However, for a price of roughly 20,000, this is what you're going to get now in Switzerland. That's it. I don't want to make it too long. I hope you enjoyed this video. And the fuel consumption went up to 4.6 by now. And if you did, please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, a like, comment below, and ask if you have any questions, and I'll try to answer them as fast and as good as I can. So thanks a lot. Oh, by the way, thank you Elite Garage Wilderswil for giving me this car so I could make this review for you guys. And just check the link in the description with all the information, the contact details, if you want to maybe test this car or any other. They are a dealer for Ford and Mercedes. So thanks a lot for watching. Have a good day and see you next time.